What's up guys, it's Scarce here, and today we have another video on someone who TLC calls an extreme cheapskate. Now I've seen a couple of these and I think I did a video on one. Maybe? I think it was about coupons or something.
My coupons weigh a total of 64 pounds.
But this one caught my attention because it had the word wrestling in the title. Something to know about me is that I love wrestling. People can call it fake all they want, but when you see The Undertaker throw Mankind off the top of the cage not once, but twice... There's no way you can call that fake. Yes, it's fake in the sense that the whole event was planned, but you can't fake this. Now, if you don't know what show I'm talking about, it's basically a show on TLC that shows people going to extreme lengths to save money, hence the title. And when I say extreme, I mean like... what the fuck? Like, these people would be like, to save 10 cents a month, me and my husband only take shits on Thursdays, or like, why buy condoms when you can just empty the old one out? A little extra flavor never hurt nobody. Like, imagine if your homie said, hey, let's go on a road trip, I'll drive, and then he pulls up to your house on a fucking tandem bicycle, like, this puppy's gonna save us so much on gas. I won't lie though, some of their ideas, very few actually, almost none to be exact, are actually helpful. I don't have any examples because all the good ideas they have are overshadowed by the fact that this family bought a pig so they can kill it later and save on a year's worth of bacon.
Could we buy one and then just have it raised here and then
Sure.
we'll collect when it's big and fat?
As for this guy though, all his ideas are like every idea a cartoon bad guy has. Like, they never work out, and even when they do, they still end up fucking him over in the end. But that's enough talk, let me just show you what he's like firsthand.
Protein shakes these days, it's $100 per container. Now what makes this protein shake different than any other? It's the cheapest protein shake. You see, I use the peels, I use the eggshells, all it is, extra nutrients.
Just because you're throwing the stuff nobody eats into your smoothie doesn't make it cheap. You're still using the egg and banana, right? There's no purpose for you putting the eggshells into your smoothie when you already have an egg in there. You're not saving anything by doing that. Eggshells aren't sold separately, you dumb shit.
To the best and cheapest protein shake ever. I am Matt Rivera, and I'm the cheapest wrestler in the world.
This guy's moving his throat like he's chugging a brewski with the boys. My man did not tilt that cup back any further than that first sip. He's like, damn, these extra nutrients are fucking sharp.
All it is, extra nutrients.
To afford his dream of becoming a pro wrestler, Matt Rivera must save as much money as possible in his everyday life. Since beginning his career 6 years ago...
Does saving money include wrestling with the local drug dealers? All these guys look like they just went back and smoked some meth and were like, yeah, let's fucking wrestle! Not knowing they've been doing this for like 6 years. He's literally playing his own version of that Catch the Dragon game from South Park.
Come on, you almost got me. Catch me.
Since beginning his career 6 years ago, Matt's managed to cut his spending down to just $300 a month, mostly by moving in with his mother in Orange County, New York.
Being a wrestler could be really expensive, so being cheap definitely helps me out.
Are you sure it's being cheap that's helping you and not living with your mom? Because there's being cheap and then there's eating fucking trash and calling it nutrients.
All it is, and I keep my tissues right here by the window so the sun can hit them. I might blow my nose, let them air out, dry, and reuse it again.
I might jack off a little, clean up my mess, maybe do some dishes, and then reuse them again. You know, reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm all about the environment, baby. Like, can someone get this disgusting animal some tissues? I bet the cameraman is outside the room zoomed in because Matt is literally touching his moist cum tissues, being like, you guys are gonna want to start doing this.
If they're really wet, I might wring them out first. I might save a few dollars a week.
That's fucking gross, bro.
I don't call my son cheap. I call my son frugal. I know everybody else says he's cheap. I think it's being creative.
I actually only own 2 pairs of underwear.
Face it, lady, your son's cheap. He only has 2 pairs of underwear. What if he farts and a little shit comes out? It happens to the best of us. You can't live a normal life with 2 pairs of underwear. I go through 2 in one day depending on what I eat.
I'm wearing one right now, and this is my second pair. So, I'm gonna do something called the sniff test. It's wearable. I can wear it again.
This guy's got to have the smelliest dick known to man. All that smell just accumulating between 2 pairs of underwear. He's basically hotboxing his dick with sweat.
A lot of wrestlers spend a lot of money to support this wrestling profession with look and body. Mom! For me, it's all about being creative, finding new ways to be in competition with all of them, but not spend the money that they're spending. Mom, can you help me shave?
Does he even know what being creative means? Salvador Dali was creative, all right? Beethoven was creative. Having your mom shave you in the shower is not being creative.
I'm pretty much a sucker when it comes to his, Mom, can you do this for me? Okay.
Didn't even warn me on that one.
Dude's face is the funniest thing ever. He's like, shit, Mom, you gotta give me a countdown before you rip my pubes out.
I'm sorry. Why do you insist on waxing your whole entire body anyway?
Gotta look like a Greek god.
Greek god.
Yep, all for wrestling.
Ready, Greek god?
Yeah, I'm sure all the Greek gods had their mom wax them in the shower. I could totally see Zeus in your position having his legs waxed before he has his sculpture sculpted. Like, it takes more than some waxed legs to become a Greek god. Like, how about some hair? That'd be good.
This is my El Cheapo wrestling bag. This cup I actually borrowed from another wrestler for a specific match, and it's pretty old. He actually let me keep it.
Sick, dude. He gave you that? He let you keep that also? That's so fucking sick. People don't normally give those things out. That's basically a collector's item, bruh. Like, at what point do you start caring about your dick? Like, 2 pairs of underwear and you're wearing someone else's cup? If I was your dick, I'd just, like, fall off and say, fuck you.
The most expensive part of a wrestler's outfit is his boots. These are in really bad shape, but in order to keep them useful, I tape them. Just have to go all the way up the leg, as tight as you can. As good as new.
Bruh, he just said good as new. That statement deserves to be in the hall of statements that are a fucking lie. Like, how do you process seeing unlaced shoes and then be like, tape?
Just have to go all the way up the leg.
For most professional wrestlers, the cost of a gym membership and personal training are mandatory expenses. But with homemade equipment, Matt saves more than $2,000 a year.
So I'm hearing a lot about him saving money, but what is he actually spending it on? You guys say he only spends $300 a month. Is that going towards tattoos? I hope not. Those look worse than mine. Like, maybe don't get a Dragon Ball Z tattoo and instead invest that in some boots you don't have to fucking MacGyver shut.
As good as new.
Or at least some real gym equipment. He's jump roping with a extension cord and using some milk cartons he filled with sand as a bench press. No wonder it's taking him 6 years. It's taken him 6 years to build all that muscle with his homeless gym equipment.
Going to a regular gym, $50 for what? For them to have machines similar to the ones that I make in my basement? Yep. It's a waste of money. I should charge people to come to my gym.
Can you imagine going to a gym owned by this guy? You'd walk in and it'd be an empty building and he'd be like, oh yeah, it's a BYOW, bring your own weights. Like, dude, you're gonna break that fucking pillar and the whole house is gonna come collapsing down on you and your mom. So after he lets us know about him and how his mom should just get a pillow and when he's asleep, he gets some exciting news from his trainer who lets him know that TNA wants him to go to Kentucky to audition to become a pro wrestler.
And for what I heard, TNA wants to give you an audition.
But if you remember, this man lives all the way in New York and won't even spend money on shoelaces, so you can only imagine how he plans a trip when he has to travel a far distance.
I was wondering how much per gallon is your gas over there, regular?
A flight from his hometown in New York to the audition in Kentucky would cost nearly $500. But Matt plans to make the trip for a quarter of that.
You know the camera crew was like, you serious, dog? You're gonna make us drive to Kentucky? Nah, you can fuck off. We'll get you pulling out of the driveway and mount some cameras in your car, but we're flying, you crustaceous cheapskate.
Listen, you crustaceous cheapskate!
I'm not happy about this road trip. I don't really want to go, but I'm going to be supportive of my son, but I'm not happy because he's going to cut corners.
Really? You're not happy about your son cutting corners? What about his crusty cum napkins or the fact that he has less underwear than a meth addict? I've seen tweakers with shopping carts with more clothes than your son. So eventually they make it to Kentucky, and just when you thought him being cheap was over, he shows us another one of his life hacks.
So what I do is I use tea bags and put it in a spray bottle. Just kind of let it sit for a little bit. Spray it on myself and it gets that nice olive glow.
You're not trying out for Miss America. You don't need to be tan. Some of the best wrestlers were pasty white. Nobody wants to be wrestling you and then get stained by tea bags. Some dude's gonna grapple you and then end up in blackface because you thought it would be good to have a spray tan right before you start fighting them. I think this guy cut corners on his education also.
Oh, that's gold.
That's okay, you're used to it.
A full-body spray tan can cost $60 in a salon and $400 on a tanning bed. But Matt's found a way to do it for pennies.
So I'm not a chemist or whatever, like I don't know the scientific properties of gravity and such, but isn't wiping him off with a paper towel or anything after you spray him just soaking up everything you just sprayed on him? Like, he looks exactly the same color as he did in the beginning.
I have my boots taped up like I usually do, have my old tights, but you know what? They've lasted this long, I'm sure they'll get through the day.
I said the same thing about my hair when I look like this, and guess what? I never got that call back. I'm pretty sure when I walked into the school for the interview, they thought I was lost, and I should have known that when they asked me if I was in the right place. It's like, no, I just walked into this school to do a school shoot.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Matt Saxon.
Magnus.
How you doing? Chris Sabin.
Matt
Nice
Saxon.
to meet you.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you guys.
Let me ask you something. Are you saving money on shoestrings? That's why you're wearing the tape?
My dude's dreams are about to be ruined before they even start. Did you see the displeasure on everyone's face? They're like, you can't come to meet Kurt Angle, the man who won an Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck, wearing tape on your shoes like a fucking clown. I'm surprised they didn't deny him right then and there. Obviously though, they're good people and they let him try out. Who knows, he could be the next Ultimate Warrior or Shawn Michaels. You never know.
A professional wrestling star can earn $250,000 a year.
Yeah, and almost tapping out when having your arm gently twisted is not going to get you that salary.
Matt's feeling the pressure of a one-time TNA audition.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I thought it was
No, it was, yeah.
Drop down.
Drop down.
So, what did you guys think?
Honestly, a long, long way to go.
Damn, who would have thought?
You know, you can't come out with tape on your boots, plain black pants and red knee pads. You know, you just gotta have something that catches the audience's eye. If you really want to be the #1 attraction, you gotta look like the #1 attraction. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know what you mean at all. If he did, he would have gotten this audition 6 years ago, and this would have been his redemption, but now his legacy is going to be remembered by the person who showed up to a job interview with tape on their shoes. In his defense, I'm sure if anyone showed up to a job interview with tape on their shoes instead of laces, they wouldn't have got the job either, so it's not all him. Actually,
all it is, extra nutrients.
And that's basically it, guys. After he gets denied, the mom starts crying because she knows the severity of the situation way more than he does. And even knowing the reason he got denied, being told by 3 professionals you can't be cheap.
Hold them together. 99 cents, brother.
He's like, nah, that's cool. I think my mom is fine with me living with her for another 6 years. It's not like this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Who cares? You should, Matt. Well, that's it, guys. I've never seen somebody ruin their career like that, and I've seen Josh Gordon get suspended 4 times, all for drugs. So, who knows? Somebody might show up to an audition naked. You never know. Until next time, peace.
L7, baby, LL7. Know the essence of our presence. Got you present for a fact, baby. Reynolds rap, all the grass in the sack.